when you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think.
This is our expert.
And often, there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face.
Which is what you did.
Can you get some schmutz that's going to stay inside there?
Of course. But when you think masks, you should think of healthcare providers needing them and people who are ill.
Hey, everybody. I have some numbers I wanted to pass along to hopefully educate some people and maybe try to help people grow a spine. This country's going into the toilet and it's going quick, and all the people that claim that they won't be forced to take a vaccination, especially one that's fast-tracked and polluted, no telling what's in it. You're going to take that. You're going to take that vaccination. And the reason why I say that is for the same reason why you're wearing that mask right now. If you comply that easy, you're going to comply. You're going to do it. But hopefully these numbers here will make you understand you're being played. Everybody's being played. They're using numbers that have always been there, but they're creating a fear factor. And with the mask, wearing of mask, started out suggestion, then it became a recommendation. Now it's a requirement, and the next step is a law. If anybody thinks that this mandate is going to go away, you're crazy. Why do you think they keep extending it 4 and 5 weeks? The numbers are not rising. They say they're spiking, but they're not. The number of tests are spiking. Their numbers, they can make them whatever they want. But just to give you an idea, for a supposed virus that swept across the world in a couple of weeks, as fast as it went, everybody was going to die, and complete panic, shutting churches down. That was the number one thing. Cut you off and cut the cycle of raising children in the church. That way the government can be, in another generation, seen as the Almighty. And that's why churches have been number one attacked. Churches, synagogues, religious centers. They got to get rid of God. But for it to sweep across the world like it did, and to date, 8 months into it, there's only been 5.6 million infections in a country of 331 million people. 23 million infections worldwide from out of 7.8 billion people. And everybody's wearing a damn mask. Dr. Birx back in April said that they were going to do ELISA test. ELISA test for antibodies. Anybody that has had this virus or anything else develop antibodies, and the chances of reinfection are, you have a 99% chance against reinfection because you have built your immunity, which these masks are jacking up everybody's immunity because they're not being exposed to stuff. Kids going to school. That's where they build their immunity. It's a freaking bacteria farm. But I'll get to the problems with the mask and the air quality in a minute. But 23 million people worldwide so far since January the 1st. All right. 5.6 million people in the United States supposedly have been infected, with 175,000 deaths. What they're not telling you about the death count is they're including all influenza, all pneumonia in with the COVID-19. If you take out the influenza, that death rate drops. And the last one I found was on either Statista or the WHO, and they were showing 73,000 COVID-19 confirmed COVID-19 deaths. Well, if you go by that, you have your chances of getting infected 0.016. Your chances of dying if you're infected is 0.013. And everybody's walking around with a damn mask on. $7.8 billion worldwide population, 826,000 deaths as of August the 26th. These numbers are through August 26th. That's when I wrote all this down. 23 million cases worldwide, 0.035, 1/3 of 1%. Our world data, 2017, 2.56 million. This is a WHO report. 2.56 million deaths from non-influenza pneumonia each year. Keep up with that. 2.56 million deaths per year from non-influenza pneumonia. Lower respiratory distress. All right, in Alabama, they have us down at 42 out of 42 per 100,000 deaths from COVID-19. 0.00042. Something that everybody needs to look up, and I've mentioned this in multiple videos, is gain of function. Look up SARS-CoV-2 gain of function. You'll see where, the supposed coronavirus or COVID came from. Coronavirus has always been around. It will always be around. Out of the 2.56 million people that die each year from non-influenza pneumonia, one of the major factors, two of the major factors, is malnutrition and air quality. But in the air quality, carbon dioxide exposure is one of the biggest ones. And you're putting your kids in a mask for hours on end all day long, and they're sitting there breathing over and over and over, over and over and over. It's already bad enough that the air quality is not real great, but then when you're going to reduce the amount of oxygen and increase the amount of carbon dioxide, they're going to be breathing over and over and over and over and over. What do you think is going to happen? You're priming their health for flu season. It just, I don't understand it. I don't know where people's faith, I'm not talking about everybody. I know not everybody believes in God. Not everybody claims to have faith. But where in the world has people's faith gone? Nobody's going to live forever. But you don't have enough faith to go to church. You don't have enough faith to stand against something that you know is wrong. Everybody I talk to knows this is wrong, but most of them put a mask on. Why? You can't make a stand against it. Here's something else. I thought this was real interesting here. Oh, here's another thing. While the death rate for old people fell slightly, this is out of the 2.56 million. While the death rate for old people fell slightly, the number of deaths of people who are 70 years and older increased by 1.13 million who died from pneumonia. This is because the number of people who reach the age of 70 increased very strongly globally. Any increase you have in population, you're going to have an increase in deaths. That's just common sense. But going back to 2014, chronic lower respiratory disease ranked number 3 leading causes of death in Alabama. The number of deaths in 2014 were 3,050. All right, then we go to 2016, 17, 2016. The third leading cause of death in Alabama, chronic lower respiratory disease, 3,326. 2017, the third leading cause of death in Alabama is chronic lower respiratory disease, 3,484. This is the disease they're calling COVID-19. It's been here. Now, as of right now, Alabama is sitting at 2,182 deaths so far they're claiming from COVID-19. That's in the past 8 months. All right? That's 272 deaths per month. Times 12, you know what you get? 3,273. My, that is mighty close, ain't it? They're using deaths that we've already had, that have been going on. They're creating a fear campaign to push this vaccine that's coming. The vaccine that's coming is going to reduce your immunity even more than the mask is already doing, and you're going to start seeing a lot of people get even sicker and more people dying from it. So, COVID, Certificate of Vaccination I.D. I.D. 2020. So, if you can't make a stand now, when we're in a lot better shape, you're not going to make a stand then. You know, trying to save yourself and your finances or whatever you're doing at the risk of your child's future. So keep that in mind. Anybody that disagrees with those numbers, put it in the comments. I'd be glad to talk about it. If I'm open to listening to your views on it, as long as you're open to listening to mine. If you're closed-minded on just your way, don't bother. I know what I've found. I've been studying on this stuff since early January, late December, when it first started popping up supposedly in China. I know where all this stuff came from. I look, you know, anybody that knows me knows that I don't really do much anymore. I do research and I work on stuff. That's pretty much all I do. Anyway, y'all take care.